Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy this hour, an episode of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, and The Murder in the Butcher Shop. This episode was originally broadcast May 19th, 1949.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure. Chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malnick. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Yeah, please. All right. Stop that racket.
Where have you been?
Stop the racket. Where have I been?
Yeah.
Uncle Mike just bought a new house. I went out to see it.
How far is it from here?
15 minutes by automobile and 5 minutes if you walk.
Wait a minute. How can it be faster if you walk?
When you're walking, you pass a skunk farm.
Must be a lovely place.
The way it's laid out. If you want to go into the kitchen, you go through the dining room, through the maid's room. If you want to go to the master bedroom, you go through the living room, through the maid's room. And if you want to go to the patio, you go through the den, then through the maid's room.
Oh, wait a minute. Why do you keep going through the maid's room?
Silly boy.
Will you please talk, Sads? Tell me more about Uncle Mike's place.
Oh, I will. Well, he ran out of water out of the swimming pool, and he filled it with peroxide.
He filled the pool with peroxide?
Yeah.
What for?
He's nuts about blondes.
By the way, how's Aunt May getting along with Uncle Mike?
Just fine. You know, Mike is expecting a blessed event at their house next Tuesday.
Well, wait a minute. They've been married for 35 years, and they're expecting a blessed event?
Mike's mother-in-law is leaving for Patterson.
Well, there's a sample of the high-grade nonsense you'll be hearing for the next half hour.
Come over here, Costello. Just look at you. You've got big circles under your eyes, and you look terrible, Lou.
I can't help it, Abbott. I've been up all night working on my invention. I just finished my latest invention. It's a cellophane mattress for old maids.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Yeah, but what good would a cellophane mattress be to an old maid, Lou?
Well, she could look under the bed to see if there's a guy under there without getting up.
Yeah, but no, you and your inventions, you're wasting your time.
I think you got something there. But really, I'm not. Get a load of this invention. My sister and I, we're working on it now. We're crossing a roll of pink ribbon with a rubber plant.
What for?
So we can raise ladies' garters.
When I look at you, Costello, I wonder how you ever became such an enormous idiot.
Well, it's easy. I could teach you in no time.
You dope your entire family is stupid. None of them knows anything.
Now, wait a minute. Just a minute. Now, how can you say that? How can you say that? My Aunt May is considered an expert authority on insects.
An authority on insects? Did she study insects in college?
She didn't have to go to college. She studied at home.
Now, wait a minute. How could she study insects at home?
Her first 3 husbands were barflies.
Are you still living with your Aunt May and Uncle Mike?
No, I decided I wanted a nice place to stay, so I reserved a room at the YWCA.
You idiot. The YWCA is full of girls.
Isn't that a nice place to stay?
So, you like girls, I gather.
I like girls anybody gathers.
You idiot. All you think of is girls. Am I tempted by girls? No. When a girl flirts with me, do I flirt back? No. Why, I could go out with a different girl every night, but do I do it? No.
Look, Abbott, all the little kiddies are asleep now. Let's tell them the right answers.
Help! Help! Please, somebody help me! Somebody's gotta help me!
Who was that?
I don't know, but he came in twice.
Well, who was it, Lou?
You know him? Yeah, that was little Johnny from the Philip Morris show. He finally found a store window he couldn't step out of.
Now, Costello, be careful what you say about that little Johnny. You know, I've heard he's a pretty tough kid.
I ain't afraid of him. I could fight that little Johnny with one hand tied behind his back.
You mean one hand tied behind your back?
Who's fixing this fight, you or me?
If you're so tough, Costello, why don't you enter the heavyweight division? You know, Joe Louis is retired, and they're looking for a new champion.
There's only one reason why I don't become heavyweight champion, Abbott. I'm so tough and ferocious, I can't control myself. The minute I get in the ring, I see blood. It's terrible.
Well, what's terrible about it?
It's my blood.
You couldn't fight your way out of a paper bag.
Is that so? You're talking to a man who can lick anybody. Why, I'd take that Joe Louis apart and see what makes him tick. I'd take Joe Walcott apart and see what makes him tick. I'd take Lee Savold apart and see what makes him tick. I'd take Gus Lesnovich apart and any champion. Name any champion and I'll take him apart.
All right, I'll give you an easy one. How about the swimming champion, Esther Williams? Could you take her apart?
Anything put together that good don't need tinkering with.
Costello, you're
Yes?
a moronic, silly nincompoop.
Thank you, Abbott. And remember, I'm not one of those phony jerks. I'm the real thing.
Costello, you're hopeless. No wonder you have no friends. Why, even Susan Miller won't talk to you anymore. And do you know why?
Why?
Because you don't know how to treat a girl.
Then why are certain types of women crazy about me?
What kind of women are crazy about you?
Crazy women?
All right, Costello, let's see what you know about women. Let's say we're in the Palladium dance hall. Now, I'm a girl. Now, you walk up to me and you ask me for a dance.
What's your name?
Oh, what's the difference? What difference does that
You don't
make?
expect me to dance with a girl I don't know, do
Now,
you?
listen, all right, my name is Louise. Is that all right?
How come you picked Louise?
What's the difference? Any girl's name. Louise. Now, go ahead and ask me to dance.
Louise, would you like to sit this out?
Sit it out. Why don't you ask me to dance?
You don't think I'm going to get out there on the floor in front of all those people with an ugly-looking tomato like you?
Come in.
Well, good evening to you all.
Costello, this girl is beautiful. Where are you from, miss?
Down south, I come from the tobacco country.
Are there any more gorgeous girls like you down in the tobacco country?
Why, it's just full of them.
No wonder that F.E. Boone can't talk straight. All right, cut that out. Cut that out, Ed. My, miss, you're pretty. What's your name?
Magnolia Tweety Faddle.
My, but that's a pretty dress you have on.
Oh, thank you all. I try to be neat. My mother's a good housekeeper. She taught me to keep everything tidy and in the right place.
Hand me my dust cap, Abbott. This is the kind of housekeeping I like.
Costello, it's very sweet of Miss Tweedlefaddle to drop in here to see us. And I think it would be a sweet gesture on your part, Costello, if you'd show her the sights of Hollywood while she's in town.
Oh, Mr. Costello, if you only would, then I could go home and tell all the girls I was out with a big, smart celebrity. If you do that for me, I'll give you anything you want.
Anything?
Anything. Now, what do you want?
Could I have a pool cue with my own initials on it?
You idiot. A kiss would be ample reward for a beautiful girl like that, Lou.
Yes. Come here, Mr. Costello, and I'll give you a real southern kiss. There. That's the way we kiss down south.
Now I know why General Sherman marched to the sea. He had to go down there to cool off.
than men. Why, in Kentucky, the men are so impetuous, they carry a girl away.
In California, we got cars.
Pay no attention to Costello, Miss Tweedlefaddle. Tell me, are you a single girl?
Oh, yes, indeed. And I came up north to get married.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I'd make a nice husband. I can cook.
And what's the matter with me? I can sew.
And I can do housework and wash dishes.
And I know how to take care of babies and do the washing.
Well, congratulations. I hope you two will be very happy together. Goodbye, you all.
Costello, you missed a great opportunity. That girl is the daughter of Colonel Tweedlefaddle. They're very wealthy.
Yeah, but I got a notion to put on one of my Sam Shovel detective disguises and follow that girl.
Mr. Costello, I've got to talk to you.
I'm Costello. What can I do for you?
Mr. Costello, I've been listening to your detective series, and I think you're marvelous as Sam Shovel, the great detective. And, Mr. Shovel, I need your help. My wife has disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Yesterday morning at 7 o'clock. She left the house dressed in a nightgown. She had a frying pan in one hand and a box of matches in the other.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a pretty tough case. You say she left the house yesterday morning at 7 o'clock wearing a nightgown and carrying a frying pan and a box of matches? Do you have any idea why she left the house?
Oh, sure. She was cooking breakfast and the stove blew up.
Hey, you know, there was something familiar about that guy. Costello, isn't he your brother-in-law?
No, sir. My brother-in-law is living.
Oh, get out!
But before it gets too thick, let's interrupt it for another reminder on a serious subject.
May 19th, 1949, Bud Abbott, Lou Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
The buy one, get one free special going on now at MyPillow. MyPillow bed sheets, Giza Elegance MyPillows, the roll and go anywhere MyPillows, and 6-piece towel sets on special. Go to mypillow.com/USA, use promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175 and find out all the great deals you can get right now at MyPillow. mypillow.com/USA. Let's get back to the craziness here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox and an episode of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. May 19th, 1949, and yes, another not Sam Spade, Sam Shovel adventure.
You know, it looks like you'll have to get some new girls, Lou. How about those two girls that moved in next door to you? They're strangers in town. Why don't we double date them?
Oh, I don't think you'd like them, Abbott. One of them has 3 warts on her nose, she's got buck teeth, and she's bald-headed.
How about the other one?
She's ugly.
Costello, you've got about as much chance of getting a girl as Laurel and Hardy.
They married?
Married? They're not married to each other. They're partners, just like Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck, ain't they married either?
Of course not.
Ain't that a shame, with all that nice furniture they got, too?
Where were you last night?
Well, I had a date with our secretary, Viola Vaughn. She took me to the Palladium, and she wouldn't dance with me. Then she took me out to the House of Murphy for dinner, but she wouldn't eat with me.
Well, if she wouldn't dance or eat with you, what did she take you for?
$35.
Throwing your money around like that. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Right now, I need $75, and I don't know where to get it.
Why, Abbott, you must have 100 friends that would loan you $75.
Well, how about you loaning it to me?
Abbott, you must have 99 friends that would loan you $75.
I ought to know better than to ask a stupid, ignorant dope like you for money.
Just a second now. Just a second. Don't call me stupid and ignorant. I'm a college man. For years, I went to Stanford University in the morning and UCLA in the afternoons.
You dummy. Stanford is in San Francisco, and UCLA is in Los Angeles. Now, how could you go to both of them at the same day?
Being an honor student, I had a long lunch hour.
Honor student. How did you ever get to be an honor student?
Well, I took the brain of a monkey and I put it in the head of a man. And today that man is alive and can talk.
What does he say?
Hey,
I thought so. You've never been in a college. And I doubt if any of your family were ever in college.
Is that so? My brother Pat spent 4 years at the medical school at the University of Michigan.
What was he studying?
Nothing. They were studying him.
Costello, you're impossible. And you'd better give up doing that Sam Shovel detective series. The field is overcrowded and everybody on radio wants to become a private eye.
You're right, Abbott.
I know it.
Seems like every Tom and Harry wants to be a dick. Thank you, Nita. That ain't going to stop me, Abbott. Tonight I'm going to do one of my most famous cases. I call it Murder in a Butcher Shop, or have you seen those prices lately?
Well, that doesn't sound like a very interesting case, Costello. Pick another one.
Okay, here's a very, very interesting one. I call it the case of the man who drowned in the Los Angeles River, or Dust Be My Destiny.
Oh, let's get on with the case.
And now, the makers of Sludge Motor Oil present The Adventures of Sam Shovel, Private Detective. But first, a word about our product. Motorists, have you been changing your oil every month? Switch to Sludge. When you use Sludge, you never have to change oil. Of course, every 6 months you'll have to get a new car. Friends, if you want extra mileage, use Naco gasoline. Listen to what one of our satisfied customers has to say.
I bought 2 gallons of Naco gasoline in Chicago. When I got into Los Angeles this morning, I still had 2 quarts left.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. What kind of a car do you drive?
Who's got a car? I got a cigarette lighter.
Now for the further adventures of Sam Shovel, Private Detective.
Yes, I'm Sam Shovel, Private Detective. I'm sitting here in my little office writing a report on my latest case. I reach for my pen. It's a pig pen. I'm alone in the office. I used to have a secretary. I had to let her go. She could never get her typing done. Every time she got to the end of a line, the typewriter bell would ring. She'd go out to lunch. I'm getting sick of this detective business. Always on the run. I don't even get a chance to eat. Last night I sat down to a bowl of chicken broth. I started to eat the broth. The phone rang. I had to go out and catch a crook. I came back, started to eat the broth again. Another call came. I had to go out and catch another crook. When I came back, the broth was cold. The moral: too many crooks spoil the broth. Suddenly I hear a woman scream. Came from the window across the street. I can't see who it is. I reach for my opera glasses. They're gone. Must have gone to the opera again. I turn to my file. There on top is one of my most famous cases. The case of the Lady Bluebeard. I don't know why they call her the Lady Bluebeard. She never killed anybody. Maybe it was because she had a blue beard. She was a hard woman to catch. I'd have never caught her except she was a flirt. She gave me the eye in Pasadena. She gave me the eye in Pomona. Then I caught her in Pisno Beach. It was easy. I had both her eyes. It was lost. Couldn't see where she was going. Suddenly, through the window, I see my pal, Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad, approaching. Abbott's a tough man. He's got a dirty look and underwear to match.
Hello, Sam Shovel. I'm worried.
What's wrong, Lieutenant Abbott?
Remember when I joined the department, I found it a beat, and the walking made my feet too big?
Yes.
And then I was transferred to the traffic department, and waving my arms all day made my hands too big?
Yes.
Now I'm really worried. They want me to ride a horse.
I looked at Lieutenant Abbott. What a clever policeman. He's got a Trigger mind, and he ought to give it back to Trigger. I could tell Lieutenant Abbott had something on his mind. He was nervous. He started fiddling with his nose.
May 19th, 1949, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce also straight ahead in our next half hour, along with the conclusion of Abbott and Costello. Hang on.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Abbott and Costello and Sam Shovel. This originally broadcast May 19th, 1949.
Lieutenant Abbott had a tough day at headquarters. All day he had been given a rubber hose the 3rd degree. He kept hitting it with a detective.
Sam, you can help me. You've got friends in the department. You've got plenty of drag.
What makes you think I've got drag?
Turn around, Sam, and see what you're dragging.
Lieutenant Abbott has insulted me again. I looked him straight in the eye. He had arrogance, conceit, and meanness written on his face. Seems silly for a man of his age to go around with all those words written on his face.
Sam, it's very warm in here. Why don't you open that door that leads to the balcony?
I can't. I haven't got a key, and I don't know how to open it.
Why don't you use your head?
I don't think my head will fit in the keyhole. Hello, Sam Shovel, private detective speaking.
Is this the great Sam Shovel, the private detective?
That's me.
Sam, you've got to help me.
What's the matter?
There are 5 tough bugs with guns and clubs trying to break in here and kill me. Come right over.
I can't hear you.
There are 5 tough guys with guns and clubs trying to kill me. Come right over.
I can't hear you.
Sam, I'm not even on the phone and I can hear her.
Why don't you go over?
All right, you two guys, put up your hands. Put them up higher.
If I lift them up any higher, I'll break my suspenders.
And lift up your hands. Now lift up your pants.
What's the idea of making us put up our hands?
Don't ask any questions. Go on, reach for the ceiling.
Okay, we reached the ceiling. What's the idea of this stick-up?
This ain't no stick-up.
Then why have you got us standing here with our hands on the ceiling?
Me and my crew are repairing this building. We're ready to tear out the walls, and somebody better be holding up that ceiling.
Lieutenant Abbott, this seems kind of silly. You and me standing here, holding up the ceiling.
Yes, Sam. It's probably something the writers thought up because they were stuck for a finish.
It's ridiculous. Let's put our hands down. Next time, we better play along with the riders. Them guys can kill you.
Don't go away, folks. Our mad men aren't through with you yet. Right now, they want you to hear this.
Tickets to the Bolanos-Williams fight on the 29th, please.
What name?
Paul Douglas.
The actor?
That's what it says in my contract.
I thought you'd be in St. Louis on the 26th for the opening of It Happens Every Spring.
Well, I'll be there, but I'm flying back for this great champ battle. It's for the benefit of the kids at the Lou Costello Jr. Foundation, and it's to help juvenile delinquency. And that's good enough to get my support.
Our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman with Paul Conlon, Pat Costello.
Our producer, Charles Vander.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody. Patterson, good night.
May 19th, 1949, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
More comedy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of The Couple Next Door starring Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce, May 19th, 1960.
CBS Radio brings you The Couple Next Door, written by Peg-Lynch and starring Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce.
You call me?
Yes, where are you?
Sitting out here in the porch, reading the paper.
Oh.
What do you want?
Nothing special. Wondered what you were doing. I finished the dinner dishes.
Oh, just reading the paper.
I do like having early dinners. It gives us such nice long evenings. How's your back today, dear?
Oh, fine. Didn't bother me a bit.
Good. Did you have a hard day at the office? I mean, you tired?
Tired? No, not especially.
Good.
Why?
What do you mean?
You don't, hey? I know you. I don't like the sound of that third degree. What do you got in mind?
Oh, you have such a suspicious nature.
Justified, no doubt.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I know what you're talking about, I'll bet. And just because it's a nice long evening, I do not intend to spend it cleaning the basement.
Did I say a word about cleaning the basement? Not a word. However, since you have brought up the subject...
Yeah, no, honey, look, I don't feel like it tonight, honest, I don't. I told you before, a man's got to be in the right mood to clean the basement.
Well, what will put you in the right mood?
Nothing.
Should I put on Beethoven's Fifth, or maybe just the Anvil Chorus, or maybe one of Betsy's records? It's off to work we go, Or shall I just read you some poetry? Look, I'll do anything if you just clean the basement.
Anything?
Well, within reason. What'd you have in mind?
Well, just a promise that the next time we go out to have dinner, and the menu says no substitution.
Oh, honey,
you will not drive the waiter crazy by asking for string beans instead of broccoli, or just plain lettuce instead of mixed green salad.
I don't care if you clean the basement or not. Forget it. I'm not going to nag you.
That poor waiter had my sympathy.
Yes, you didn't say.
All right. I'll get at the basement. I'm not really in the mood yet, but I just want you to see how wonderful I am.
Oh, go on. I'll be down to help you, dear. Well, is this what you call cleaning the basement, sitting down here and reading all the old funny papers? Now, really, dear.
I never see the funny papers anymore. I mean, Betsy grabs them. You know, I never realized there were so many new comic strips.
You know, some of the good old standbys are there, too. Ones I remember grabbing to read every Sunday when I was little.
Yeah. I mean, look what I found, Little Orphan Annie. Boy, I wish I knew her secret. Not a day older than I was when I used to worry about would Daddy Warbucks get there in time.
Yes, so
you know
worried.
something, these are cats and jammer kids, still up to their old tricks.
This isn't cleaning the basement.
By golly.
Now, you might as well face it. You're not going to read all these back Sunday papers you've insisted I keep. Let's pile them outside, and I'll have them picked up tomorrow.
Oh, honey, there's a dozen magazine supplements here I haven't read.
And you never will. If you don't read the papers and magazines when they arrive, you never do get time to go back over them. They pile up, honey, and
Why in Sam Hill do they make Sunday papers so big? Will you tell me? It seems to me they're getting bigger and bigger and heavier every week. I can't even pick up a Sunday paper anymore with one hand.
Oh, come
I can't, no kidding.
Come on, let's clean the basement instead of worrying about
It's the truth.
that.
Every Sunday morning I step out on the front porch and I have to lean down and I get a good grip on the Sunday paper with two hands. Then I practically stagger back into the house with this ton of reading material. I couldn't possibly read in one day anyhow.
Well, you're not supposed to.
No.
You're supposed to read the sections that interest you.
Well, they all
gardening.
interest me. I just can't get them all in. I find myself getting sort of frantic, kind of desperate that I'm missing something in another section, so I can't even enjoy the one I am racing through.
I know. Well, come on, let's clean up your workbench here and put some of these tools away.
I tell you, Sunday papers nowadays are just too much of a good thing. You mark my words now. The day is going to come when millions of Sunday paper readers are going to rise up and revolt.
Here, where do you
Don't
want
touch my workbench now.
Oh.
Don't touch it. No, the hammer doesn't go there. Now, please, son, just go away. Get away. Will you let me put things away, huh?
I would be delighted to let you put things away, dear.
All right.
I'll start clearing the papers out, and then I'll get the broom. Between the two of us, let's see if we can't get this basement all cleaned up tonight, huh? Look, all you have to do is answer the questions with yes or no. Come on now, I went up and got a pencil. Let's see if you're a safe driver according to this attitude test or whatever it is. First...
Boy, I love that you drag me away from reading the old newspapers. Oh, you're going to help me clean the basement, sure. So I'm slaving away, and I find you plunked down, leisurely reading the papers yourself.
Well, I just found this test for careful drivers in an old Sunday paper from way back last year, and it looks fascinating. Article says that people ought to be required to take behavior tests.
Now, as a matter of fact, it's not a bad idea. Boy, I tell you, the way some people drive. Even my boss, every time Cranshaw has an argument with his wife, he goes out driving to let off steam, as he calls it. By golly, when a guy is mad, that's the last time he should be behind a wheel. He endangers everybody else on the road.
That's what this article seems to say.
Yeah.
And there's some questions here to sort of test yourself. Let's see how well you do, huh?
Me?
Yeah.
Listen, I am a very careful driver. I'm a very safe driver.
Well, let's see. Finish cleaning up your workbench while I test you. Just answer yes or no.
Okay, yeah. Put these things away.
Do you object to taking advice?
Well, I mean, if you mean from a backseat driver, I most certainly do.
From anything, I think. The answer, I think, would be yes, dear. Do you get angry if you just miss a bus or a train or anything like that?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say I get angry.
Well, I would. You get furious, honey. Why, I remember one time that you left for where we were going.
All right. Put yes. Come on, next question.
Just a second. Yes. Do you hate to wait in a long line for anything?
Who likes to?
Just answer yes or no, dear.
Well, who likes standing in line for anything?
Shall I put yes, you hate it?
Yes. All right. Don, if I see how that's any indication.
If you start something, do you finish it?
Oh, yes. I do.
You do?
Of course.
All right, I'll put yes. Do you find it easy to relax? No, you don't. Answer that right, man. Do you like large parties, or do you prefer small ones?
Oh, no, not especially. I mean, if that means things like playing charades with the Lundells.
Do you often feel adventurous?
Yes.
Do you have any difficulty in deciding which necktie to wear each morning? Yes. Do you like to hold the center of conversation and tell long stories?
Well, what's that got to do with driving a car?
Just answer the question, dear.
All right.
Yes.
I guess so.
Yes, you do. Where was I now? Are you easily upset over trivialities?
Oh, no.
Oh. Dear.
What?
No, why, little things get you in a perfect tizzy.
I am not easily upset. No, I'm
not.
Just
today, all right, now, just for example, just today, this evening, when you got home, when you sat on the cat.
Well, I do not consider it a little thing when a man comes home exhausted from a hard day's work and flops down in his own easy chair.
You know the cat likes that chair, too. I can't watch her every minute.
I do not consider it a little thing to sit down on a cat. I mean, look at the scratches on my hand. She clawed me like a tiger.
Well, I don't suppose the cat thought it was a little thing to have somebody sit down on her either, dear. I'm sorry. I can still see the two of you shooting out of the chair. Anyhow, compared to the real catastrophes of life, it would be considered a triviality, I would think, though. Yes,
all right,
it is a small
then.
thing,
Yes, I get easily upset at little things.
All right, now let's see. There's another section of this test. Here it is. Let's see.
You don't know why the cat's in the house anyhow. With nice weather.
Never mind the cat.
She ought to
Please
be
come
outside.
on. I suppose Bobby let her in. Now, Do you get angry if the man in the car behind you blows his horn the moment the light changes?
Oh, boy, do I. I tell you, it burns me up when I'm waiting for a light and some wise guy behind me starts sitting on the horn.
All right, now. Can you take criticism from your wife? No. No. Can you take criticism from your boss?
Well, look, if Cranshaw knew what he was talking about half the time,
Now,
I
just
wouldn't...
answer the questions, dear. I'll put no. Do you get exasperated if the traffic light turns red just as you get to the corner?
Oh, you know that light? You know that light on the corner of Walnut? I tell you, I was so mad today.
I'll put yes.
Never mind
yes.
that silly test. I want to tell you, I have never had an accident. You know, I am probably the most careful and the safest driver that you have ever known. Now, come on, will you? Never mind. I get busy. You're going to help me clean the basement. Come on.
Scared to finish taking the test, dear? Afraid you won't pass?
Oh, what are you doing, Pat? All right. Go on. Ask me the question.
All right. I thought you didn't get easily upset by little things.
For a man who has never had an accident now. Never.
I can't help it. According to the results of this test, you're a man who should never even be behind the wheel.
You cannot accurately judge every individual person with just a few questions like these.
Of course not. The test doesn't claim that. It says, and I quote, "It is obviously impossible to attempt an accurate judgment with so few questions." In general, this is an indication of whether you have the patience and the inner calm of a good driver.
Patience? Can you tell me one person who doesn't get infuriated when some guy cuts in front of him, nearly sideswiping him?
Nobody, probably. But some people are more patient about it than others, dear. We get tied up in a traffic jam. You know, there's nothing we can do, and I see some drivers sitting there patiently, knowing they might just as well sit there quietly. But not you. You blow the horn. You get in and out of the car. You grumble. And when traffic does start up, you can never make up your mind which line is best. We sashay in and out of all of them, and then you're annoyed when some car passes you that was once behind us in the other line.
Oh, well, look, you sure you added up those answers right?
Yes, dear, and your thermometer score says you have rung the bell. If your total score has reached this point, you are undoubtedly an excitable driver.
Look, I don't put any stress on these tests anyhow. To say that I am easily upset or excited makes me so darn mad.
Easy, dear.
Oh.
This might interest you. You know how you're always saying, look at the way that maniac drives? Well, the other day, Betsy and I were driving in my car around the lake road to the shopping center, and I'd just been explaining how careful one must be, to observe speed limits. When this car came speeding towards us, and Betsy said, look at the way that maniac is driving. And when the car swished past us, she said, my goodness, that was Daddy. Now, frankly, dear...
All right. I get the point. I get it.
I didn't mention it when we got home, because that was the night you were upset about losing some business deal, so I suppose that's
well,
why...
it's true. You should not drive. Now, you should not drive when your mind is in a turmoil about something else. And I will try to be a more patient man when lights turn red, when guys honk at me, and traffic jams line up for miles.
Good.
But even this will not get the basement clean.
No. We do everything we can to put it off, don't we? Well, come on. Help me clear out the rest of these papers. There's certainly a pile here. I don't know how they... Why we sit... Dear!
Just a second. There's a book review section I never saw. I'll be right with you, honey. I'll be right with you, honest.
The Couple Next Door stars Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce.
There you have it, May 19th, 1960. I was exactly 4 years old when this show ran on CBS Radio, The Couple Next Door, probably on WIBW Radio in Topeka, Kansas. I'm guessing, I'm not sure. But they carried a lot of stuff from CBS. Alrighty, we thank you for tuning in here to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Would you do me a favor and thank this station, support their advertisers? It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. And if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. You can hear our shows through Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, or go to my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand. You can learn more about classic radio collecting, and you can also contact me there. classicradio.stream. Some of the shows that you hear here on Classic Radio Theater were provided by our good friend Ted over at radiomemories.com, who provides shows on cassette, CD, or flash drive. radiomemories.com. Have a great day. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.